The Bucks are officially in trade talks. Brian Windhorst of ESPN confirmed this, but it's not that trade. It's a different one. The problem is Milwaukee might be the most trade-poor team in the NBA. I mean, normally you need picks and players to make a deal. Well, right now, the Bucks have no first-round picks or swaps left outside of 2031, so one first-rounder. Good vets to trade? Let's take Giannis and Dame off the table. Are any of these players valuable? Oh, but what about young players? Teams love to deal vets for potential. Yeah, not one, except maybe AJ Green is worth a thing. So what is the plan here? Well, I want to look at what players they might be targeting, but why not just trade Giannis and get it over with? Man's going crazy. I mean, one day he's elbowing Jaylen Brown, then joking with him like, yeah, too slow for the handshake, ha.
Giannis is a child.
Oh, what is Jaylen so mad about? Well, maybe it's because Giannis undercut Jason Tatum, could have seriously hurt him. But then the next day, Giannis is snapping at a reporter, and we finally know who he was talking to.
Hey, man, if you don't want to be here, you can leave. If you don't want to be here, you can leave. I'm being honest with you.
Awkward. Yeah, and it was not a teammate, okay? That would have been scandalous. It was some random reporter who sighed during Giannis' answer like, come on, Giannis. Dude is under pressure. And who could blame him at 4-8? So what type of player are the Bucks gonna trade for? I am buying things online for the holidays, of course, and you guys know I sell little merch myself. The worst possible thing is for an item to be missing or wrong or late and I pay an arm and a leg. But today's sponsor, ShipStation, is the perfect fix for all of it. If you sell stuff online, ShipStation allows you to scale your business easy, automates things like shipping labels, and save thousands with mail carriers you already use. I mean, they got partnerships with UPS up to 83% off, DHL 81% off, USPS 88% off. Every online business competes with one-day shipping now. ShipStation gets it out fast and accurate for cheap. I love the dashboard. It lets you shop for the best rate, add branding, automation, integrate existing carrier accounts, and track it all. So scale your e-commerce business with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to shipstation.com/amhoops to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That is shipstation.com/amhoops. Well, Giannis is maybe the best player in the world right now. Number 2 outside of Nikola Jokic at least. Dude is putting up a career-high 33 points per game, 12 boards and 6 dimes, and compare that to his back-to-back MVPs, now a career-high points and efficiency. And even though Giannis is awesome, watch this. The Bucks had a lead in the fourth quarter against the Celtics. Then down 2. Dame can't guard Jason Tatum, so Giannis has to help, leaves Derek White open for a 3. Then Taurean Prince beat by Jaylen Brown, which causes all kinds of chaos. Jrue Holiday beats Prince again on defense in the same possession. Giannis has to help in another 3. Giannis must be like, I can't do everything for you people. And defense used to be their identity. But ever since they traded Jrue Holiday for Dame, their D is 16th in the NBA. Last week it was 22nd. It's only improved because they're playing crappy teams lately. What happens when they play the best teams in the playoffs? We have seen it ain't good, so they need good defenders. But do we really trust Doc Rivers here? Well, ownership apparently does. CBS reported that the new Bucks owner loves Doc so much, he is asking the coach to make GM decisions now. Great. And it must really hurt when the guy that they fired like a year ago, Mike Budenholzer, is dominating with the Phoenix Suns. But pointing fingers at Doc is way too easy. There is a different person who deserves all the blame. Like, Giannis threatens to leave so much, the Bucks have gotten scared. Every time he was a free agent, Giannis was like, I don't know, they really got to step it up around here, so Milwaukee would do whatever he wanted. Giannis is a great player, not a great GM. It reminds you of the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant said, yeah, I'll go there only if you get my friend Kyrie Irving. Then they handpicked Steve Nash to be the coach, forced a big trade for James Harden, and it all blew up 18 months later. Or the GM. Who gets rid of Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and Alex Caruso for Russell Westbrook? What are we doing? Back in the day, front offices used to run the team. I mean, The Last Dance was basically all about how players hated Jerry Krause. But he didn't care, and they won 6 titles. You think Pat Riley asked permission of his players to run the team? No! He's like, I'm Pat Riley, you're a player. If you don't like it, you can leave. And can you believe he refused to make Dwayne Wade happy, so Wade left for the Bulls? That would never happen in today's NBA. The star has way too much power. Now look, I don't want to go overboard on Giannis. The front office did this to themselves. So they could say if it backfired, well, Giannis, this is what you wanted. But Giannis did want Dame over Drew Holiday, and look where it got him. So what can they do now? Well, no team has started 1-6 and made the conference finals. 77 years of NBA basketball, it would be a first. The good news is the East sucks. Can you believe that they are 4-8, only 2.5 games out of 3rd place? Sixers are a mess. Paolo Banchero is injured. The Heat are below 500. The Knicks. So what about this trade? Well, there are so many Giannis trade rumors out there, but that's not what's happening. Instead, Brian Windhorst says, I was on the phone with an NBA team and I go, hey, I just talked to like 4 teams in the last day. The Bucks called about a trade. And the guy I was on the phone with was like, yeah, they haven't called us. And he's like, oh, wait a minute, Bucks on the other line, I gotta go. So apparently, the Bucks are desperate to make a deal, right? But what could that be? Well, there are 3 things that they badly need. Defense, shooting, and depth. I mean, look at their bench. 13th net rating in the NBA, just 25th in terms of bench points scored. Giannis does everything. And Doc Rivers only plays like a 7-man rotation, one of the fewest in the league. No wonder one injury to Chris Middleton hurts this much. So a trade makes sense, but there's another problem. Remember how I said that they've got like no assets to trade? Yeah, well, they're also in the second apron, which means they can't combine players to get one player. For example, you can't combine a bunch of small contracts to get like a Cam Johnson from the Nets. You could only trade 1 for 1. Like Marjon Beauchamp makes $2.7 million, but who else makes $2.7 million or less? I mean, Marcus Sasser, Dwayne Dedmon, Trenton Watford. Okay, so the only option is to deal one of their big salary players plus that one pick. And the big buck salaries? Giannis and Dame, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, and Pat Connaughton. That's it. So who is expendable on this list? Who could they get rid of? Well, they could swap Bobby Portis and the 2031 first to the Blazers for Robert Williams III. Or they could deal like 2 for 2. Kyle Kuzma, Jonas Valanciunas for Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, the first and a second. But A, would the Wizards or Blazers even do that? And B, are they that much better after that trade? No. That's why I think the only realistic option here is to deal Damian Lillard. And I know that sounds crazy, but what else can they do? You're seeing it. Basically, they would say, okay, we messed up. We tried to build a top-heavy team around Giannis and it backfired, okay? We're sorry. Plus, for how miserable Dame's been in Milwaukee, I bet he'd be glad to go. And what could they get for Dame? Well, even though he's not playing his best, dude still would have a lot of value around the league, especially to contenders on a 3-team deal. The only positive is their schedule. After that Boston loss, they got back-to-back wins over the Raptors and the Pistons, which took OT. Then they've got the Hornets, the Rockets who are tough, the Bulls, the Pacers, the Hornets again, the Heat, the Wizards, the Pistons, and the Hawks. Yo, they could be back over 500 by early December. But if they're not with that schedule, maybe they do consider trading Giannis. Because as you can see, another trade is almost impossible. But a trade that has worked out is Klay off the Warriors. It was technically a sign-and trade, but the Dubs are rolling. And even though Klay dropped 22 points in his return to the Bay, it was the perfect example game of why Golden State was right.